Welcome to this exclusive webinar hosted by Dr. Mohit Batra. He'll be answering your questions live and we'll do our best to cover as many questions as possible. Over to you, sir.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. A very good evening to all you members. We are approaching Diwali, so I'm wishing you happy Diwali in advance. I want to be the first one to wish you. Please wish your family members as well. Today in the Q&A section, we will cover the highlights of last week. As you know, we are in the result season. So some of the results have started coming out. Around 10% of India's market cap has declared the results. And we want to see what kind of trends that are emerging from the results. So I have a short presentation, post which we will open up the session for Q&A. Please do ask me anything that is concerning you or anything that you have as a follow-up suggestion from the last week's webinar that we had done in terms of, give me any advice that you feel like. And then, obviously, if there's other questions that you want to put in, please do put in. We'll try and make sure that we cover as many questions as possible. The chat is open. You can start putting in your questions as and when you feel like. With that note, let's go and read the disclaimer. We emphasize that all investors should use the information on the webinar merely as a resource to enhance their own research and understanding. Nothing discussed in this webinar should be considered as investment advice. We strongly advise all participants to check with certified experts before taking any investment decision. And investment in securities is subject to market risk. Past performance should not be construed as a guarantee for any future returns. Investment in equity and equity-related securities involve a high degree of risk, and users should not invest unless they can afford to take risk on their investment. With that note, let's take a quick glance at the India Inc. September quarter results. As you know that some of the companies have started declaring results. We have some big companies as well that we are trying to cover out here, but let's try and figure out where is the sentiment. Now, if you look at quarter on quarter as India Inc. numbers, although only 10% of the total market cap have announced their results as yet for the September quarter, we've seen sales grow at 1.2% and we've seen profits grow at 5.3% at a QnQ level. If you were to compare September to September quarter last year, which is YOY numbers, we are looking at a sales growth of 4.3% and we are looking at a profit growth of 3.3%. What are the key takeaways from September results? I'm going to cover three results here, which are the large companies which we're trying to capture some trend out here. Reliance Industries, if you were to look at the retail business, because retail actually gives you the momentum on ground, gives you the consumption patterns on ground. If you look at the retail business of Reliance Industries, as per the latest results, the retail business reported a YOY decline in revenue of 1.1%. So I repeat, there was a decline of revenue YOY in revenues of up to 1.1%. Now, obviously, the interesting thing to note out here is that the footfalls actually increased 14% YOY, and the number of transactions also increased by around 8.9% YOY. So despite the footfalls increasing and despite the number of transactions, which is the number of times somebody bought something, increasing by 8.9%, the revenue still declined by 1.1%. What does this show? This shows that people are going, but maybe one of the two things that are happening is that they are not picking up as much as they were picking up. And B, the pickup is happening on smaller ticket items because that is the only reason that you can put on transactions going up by 8.9%, but revenue coming down. So more people are going, 14.2% YOY growth. So more people are going, but less people are shopping, and people who are shopping mostly the lower ticket items is what is the trend that is coming out. In terms of numbers, if you see the store numbers increase to 18,946, marginal increase from 18,918 stores. Footfalls increased marginally, 29.7 versus 29.6 last quarter. YOY increase has been 8.9%. Registered customers increased from 31.6 to 32.7. And obviously the area, which is million square feet, reduced from 81.3 to 79.4. So there is a little bit of a retail slowdown that we can see in the Reliance Industries story out here, primarily on the retail business side. Having said that, if you even see the digital business, which is the Jio business, Jio lost subscribers in September quarter. If you look at June quarter, the total ARPU was 181.7. The ARPU has gone up by almost 2.5% to 195.1. So ARPU has improved, obviously, because of the increase in prices out there. But subsequently, if you see the second line, which is the subscribers, which is in million, on a quarter-on-quarter basis, if I were to compare this quarter, which is September 24 quarter, 478.8 million subscribers is one of the lowest over the last 3 quarters. So specifically, if you see from the last quarter, in the June of 2024, which the subscribers were 489.7, has come down to 478.8, which is again a 2.5% kind of a fall in the subscriber base. But having said that, there is a 7.3% increase in the ARPU that has been done by Jio from 181.7 to 195.1. Let's look at another interesting result, which is Avenue Supermarkets. Now, if you look at Avenue Supermarkets, there's a pretty interesting analysis out here, which we have done like-to-like store growth, 2-year-old, which has actually come down. If you look at September 2024 quarter, the like-for-like growth was 5.5% versus last September 2023 quarter, which was 8.6%. And March full year 2024 was 9.1%. So there is a drastic fall that we are seeing out here on the growth numbers. If you look for like-for-like growth numbers, even if you look at March and if you look at September of 2023 as compared to the latest results of September of 2024, which has declined from 8.6 to 5.5%. The other interesting fact out here is number of days of inventory has gone up. So, the full year FY 2024, if you look at the number of inventory days was 29.2 days, which has steeped up to half year FY 2024 to 30.3 days and FY 2025 at first half at 32.6 days. So number of days of inventory is increasing, and obviously the growth seems to be tapering downwards for both these large retail outfits, which is Reliance Industries, the retail business, the digital business, and the Avenue Supermarkets business as we see out here. Let's look at 2 other big results, which is HCL Technologies that came out and TCS. Both have declared their results. Revenue guidance slightly revised from 3.5 to 3.5 to 5% in the current quarter. EBIT guidance remains unchanged at 18 to 19%. TCS, if you look at, obviously the company doesn't give any revenue guidance, but EBIT guidance of 26 to 28% given the previous quarter. BFSI sector seems to be reviving, and key themes are cost optimization and supply chain modernization, which is being run by TCS. Now, good news out here, obviously, is that it looks like it's early because a lot of companies have not declared results, but of the big companies who are declaring results, IT sector the outlook seems to be improving. Retail sector, the outlook seems to be a little on the downward trend. But IT sector, the outlook seems to be improving with the kind of results that we are seeing coming out. If you look at the consumer price index inflation percentages month on month, you would see one of the largest inflation numbers that we declared in the month of September 2024, steeping up to 5.29% from last month of 3.65, previous month to that of 3.6, and June of 5.08. So clearly there is a 9-month high that we've achieved as India in the month of September 2024, topping at 5.29% in the on the CPI index. Now, we presume that this is likely to remain high at least till December due to base effect and higher food inflation that has come in. Now, there is some good news on food inflation, which I'll cover in the next slide. But we believe that this can be a little higher, and obviously it kind of makes the rate cut a little more gloomier, or the series of rate cut, I would say, a little more gloomier than how it used to look at a 3.65%. Monsoons are getting over. So we have the results of monsoon. Central India, there is a surplus of 19%. South Peninsular India, there is a surplus of 14%. Northwest India, there is a surplus of 7%. East and Northeast is where there is a deficit of the average, below the average at 14%. And India as a whole, this year has been good. We are at a surplus of 8% across the country, as per the last data that has come to us from IMD. Now, the southwest monsoon season has officially come to an end, but due to better monsoons, Kharif production is likely to be good, which is good news, which would reduce pressure on the price inflation because that contributes a lot on the food inflation side. And also due to better monsoons in the soil, even Rabi crop is likely to be good. So these are two indicators which clearly tell us that, upwards of December, getting into the new calendar year, the inflation can come in control because of the food inflation going down due to positive monsoon this year that we've seen. Let's look at the quickly 1 week indices performance. Small cap 2.3%, mid cap 0.5%. And if you see, Nifty has been flat at 0%. So obviously what is happening is the large cap has shown a little bit of downward trend in this last 1 week. Mid cap and small cap still hold the fort at a 0.5% and 2.3%. Nifty Reality leading at 3.1%, Bank Nifty at 1.6%, and so on and so forth. Data drastically changes when we look at the industry performance YTD. If you look at that, you would see the consumer price CPSE, Nifty Junior leading with around 42, 41%. Pharma leading again at around 39.4%. Auto at 39.2%. Small cap at 34.5%. Almost next is mid cap at 32.1%. And then you have Nifty and Sensex, which are in the 12 to 14% range. Nifty at 14.9% and Sensex at 12.8%. We're talking YTD, which is Jan to September data, where you will see the indices, the larger indices, which is the Nifty and Sensex at around 12 to 14% kind of a range. But sectoral indices are showing upward trend, and small and mid cap are still leading the rally with a 34 and a 32% index performance since Jan of this year. Now, another trend that is I would say a short-term trend. When I say short-term, it should be a next 2-3 month trend. Is a big theme of Sell India Buy China theme because of the potential revival of China that is coming in. We had a October net sales of negative 67,834 crores of the money that went out from the FI category. And we personally believe that this is more towards this theme of Sell India Buy China. If you look at the total, the YTD numbers of 2024, FI's net investment came down by around 32,776 crores. So part of the selling pressure that we've seen in this month and also last month has been due to a large selling by the FIs towards the Buy China theme, which is now resulting to around 67,834 crores sold out. just in the month of October, we're sitting on 16th of October. So this is just 16-day data, but there has been a heavy selling by FIIs out there for this particular theme. With that note, that's a quick snapshot of what happened last week, and to get you, up and running on the numbers, I would be covering up the corporate India results number because of the results season every week, so that we keep you, aware of all the highlights of the performances. But we can get onto the Q&A.
So the first question comes from Mr. Krishna. Hi, sir. Good evening. Shall we expect the Diwali portfolio for the year 2024? And if so, how much fund should we invest in it?
I think you should wait a little because we are personally going to launch one portfolio where you can invest, which should be like the Diwali portfolio, the way I used to manage. The only thing is, as I told you, sir, that last time, that it becomes very difficult for me to do this on a weekly basis. And we need to run this through the system rather than, personally, because you can miss a call, you can miss a webinar. There is no email updates, there is no notifications, WhatsApp updates. So we are putting that into the system, and hopefully, I think we should be launching that portfolio before Diwali, or maybe you can call it as on Diwali. So we have taken that, feedback after the poll very seriously the last time that we did the poll with you. And we will be coming out with that particular portfolio. We may call it something else, not a Diwali portfolio, because Diwali portfolio, every Diwali, clients expect it to change. So we want to come out with a portfolio which we need to continue Diwali after Diwali. And that is the reason that we are systemizing it rather than doing it as a manual approach, which I was doing earlier.
The next question comes from Mr. Karthik. Now, should we exit from last year's Diwali portfolio because the new portfolio will be coming in this year?
You can hold it till the end of the month. And then if you like the portfolio construct that I'm going to offer you, then you can take a decision of exiting from it and then investing in that particular portfolio. But I would suggest that you can keep holding it till the end of the month, till I launch the new one. There's no point money sitting idle. Let it stay invested. It's a question of another, less than 2 weeks where the new product will come out. I am in the testing process of the product already. Numbers are coming as per my satisfaction, but I still further need to test it out before we launch it out to you. I would suggest that hold it on for a couple of weeks till we launch the new portfolio.
The next question comes from Mr. Sohail. Hi, Mohit. Most of our stock of the week runs with correction after a day or two. Now, what should be the right strategy with the initial investment and averaging it after?
I would suggest, I think I presented you with the data in the last week itself on the stock of the week, where there was a price. I know a lot of you are stock of the week users out here. I hope you know that we've sent a mail out to all of you. I hope you know that we closed IFP as our first call today, meeting the target price of 24% in about 1.5 months. So congratulations to all of you who are holding IFP. We booked a handsome 24%. There was a huge rise in the IFP price today. So we closed that call on a target hit. We've not revised that call upwards. We've closed that call. So I'm just doing a announcement since you're already here, but we've also sent across notifications, and we've sent across email communication as soon as the price was hit to all our stock of the week members. Pricing by strategy, when you're entering a stock of the week, I think the first 2 to 3 days is where you should be entering it. Not essentially on the first day itself, because in most of the cases, we've seen that after, even if the stock of the week opens drastically up in the first day, it tends to settle down, barring 2, 3 cases where we've seen it never settle down. It retained that first day increased price, but it tends to settle down in the second and the third day. So smartly, if I were to look at ignoring those 1 or 2 stocks, but if I were to look at general trend of suggestive buying that I can tell you, then I think you can typically look at and wait for the second and the third day to buy and look at the right price for you to get in.
The next question comes from Mr. Taha. Hello, Mohit ji. I am a Markets Mojo member till 2024. 2040. My suggestion is below. The current issue for Mojo stocks is that you have no stocks in micro caps category and very few stocks in small cap and mid cap category for Mojo stocks. Please increase the power of IP so there are at least 25 stocks in each category of micro cap, small cap, mid cap for very aggressive investors.
Sir, I can't typically increase because I want to increase the size of the. There is a very strong filter. The reason that you guys love Mojo stocks and it delivers the performance out there is primarily because our IP is very, very strong out there. And, the filters are very strong. And that is the reason we have stocks which have given stupendous returns out there, right? If you even see the current list, the stocks have given amazing returns out there. We want to maintain that level of filtration and not compromise on quality by increasing the number of stocks. I do hear your point that currently in small caps, for example, we only have two stocks, and in micro cap, there's not a single stock that is qualifying out there. That is primarily because the IP is choosing to do so. So I would not try and increase the quantity by compromising on the quality. This is our jewel of the crown, Mojo stocks, as you all know, and we've been running this for 9 years now. So, and there is a very strong history, and we do not want to change the parameters to try and make it more flexible for stocks to get in. I think that can be counterintuitive because you may get stock, but it may not perform. So I think we should not be looking at number of stocks out there. We should be looking at, even if you want to look at allocations, you can increase your allocations because you know that the stocks, once it enters Mojo stock, the chances of it doing well are much higher than it doing bad. And I think we can play with the allocations rather than the quantity out there in terms of number of stocks.
The next question comes from Mr. Manikanathan. Good evening, Mohitji. Congratulations for the first target achievement of Stock of the Week. Any updates on sharing the call on Mondays?
Any updates on, sorry?
Any updates on sharing the calls on Mondays?
Maybe, sir, I'm not understanding your question. Monday, I will be there in the morning at 9:07 for the next Stock of the Week. And we will, there is one more stock that is very close to hitting, and I know you guys are all waiting for that. There is one more stock which is very close to hitting the target price. It may hit any day now. So we will cover a full review of all the Stock of the Weeks next week. But Monday will be our regular Stock of the Week, which we launch. I had clearly told you guys, and I think you guys were getting worried that how much money should we invest in Stock of the Week, and you guys were all taking an assumption of a number of 52 because 52 weeks in a year, so there will be 52 stocks. And I said that doesn't work like this. You can assume there will be not more than 25, 26 stocks because stocks with 3-6 months will keep hitting the target. Sometimes they will miss the target, and sometimes we will get out of them because of if they are making too much losses. So comparing all of that, if you were to make and allocate money to Stock of the Week, I think you could typically decide what money you're looking at and divide it by 25, 26, because that will be eventually a running number through the year. Yeah. So, we closed one, we may close one more in the next maybe 1 week or so. And, a lot of when market improves, and these stocks are very, very fundamentally strong. If you remember, the last Stock of the Week was a large cap, and I've been doing large and mid cap essentially. So these are very, very fundamentally strong stocks that we are picking up, and we are taking a short-term target of maybe 20-25% achieved over 3-6 months. There's a pretty high chance that they may achieve, and hence your average number of stocks will not be 52, it will be around 25, 26. So repeating, because I did this towards the launch of Stock of the Week, if you're looking at what to allocate, you take an amount that you decide in a year to allocate, you divide that by 25, 26, not by 52, and you will get your number. Eventually, on a running basis, there will be 25, 26 stocks. But Monday will be a regular day for us. where we come and launch the next stock of the week. If you're asking for me to tell you the stock of the week today, that I'm not telling you.
The next question comes from Mr. Sagar Parekh. Hello, Mohitji. Thank you to you and your entire team for guiding us and make us informed investors. Your financial planning webinar was great, and you promised to make a retirement planning webinar after financial planning. So you're kindly requested to do so, as with your webinars, we are getting all the knowledge which we were missing in our journey after your
I know.
financial planning webinar.
Yeah, I know, sir. I have failed to spend time on writing the issue is I write my own content. I don't take anybody's help, neither internally nor externally, to write my content. And I've been really tight over the last 6, 8 months now almost, that I haven't focused on creating new content for you guys. I think the last content that I created was on home loans, which got really appreciated, and people really benefited from that because some of the people actually reduced their home loan rates looking at that particular webinar. I am going to make a sincere effort in the next 1 month to come out with a retirement planning topic. If you personally feel that there are any other topics, is this chat being saved, Kevin, Amir?
Yes, sir. It is.
It is being saved?
Yes, sir.
If there's any other topic that you would like me to cover, which affects your financial life, not just in stocks, but across, please write on the chat box. Let me look at all the topics that you write, and I will start making a very genuine effort that at least once a month I come out with a very, very large format webinar which can benefit most of our members. But thank you, Sagarji. Thank you so much. But I will definitely make an effort on doing this time.
The next question comes from Mr. Xavier. Hi, Mohit. Hope you are doing well. Just wanted to say that the model portfolio is the best tool and strategy from market model to us. It's truly magical. And my suggestion is to give it a greater focus on improvement and further enhancing it. I have two questions on the model portfolio. First one is, when should we deploy additional cash to the portfolio? Is it pre-market, during market, and post-market? The second question is the edit field on the model portfolio stocks, because we can't really adjust the stock price according to our prices and not confined to the day's high and low. Also,
Yeah,
can you just provide your email? Can you email the CAGR of all the model portfolios?
Right. Point taken. I am going to do a model portfolio specific webinar next week. I completely buy your point, Xavier, that we haven't been able to enhance the model portfolio feature. It is done brilliantly. It is done brilliantly over the last 1 year. If you see last 2 years, last 3 years, the model portfolio, some of you who may not use this particular tool are seriously going to regret it because the returns are absolutely astounding, right? I personally also feel that there are certain things that we need to improve out there, which is, for example, certain loss booking parameters are too deviated. We need to tighten those parameters. So you'll not believe, but just around an hour back, I was sitting with my CTO and looking at all the simulations that I can do to improve the model portfolio and launch a version 2, which is typically going to tighten and better the whole performance further from here on. And I think in the next maybe 1 week or so, I'm going to deploy that. But I really do want to do a model portfolio specific webinar with the CAGR announcement, which will surprise you and which will, as I said, will make you regret of people who are not following it religiously. Edit option, as you rightly said, should be a part of it. It should be in a price range. The reason that we don't do the edit option and we give you a price range, we used to give that in Infinity, if you remember. We should introduce that price range concept out here, primarily because, see, what happens is that a lot of times when we run a strategy, I give you a call today, the call is executed, say, after a week or 2 weeks' time. And by the time the stock has already gone up, say 10-15%, and you do execute the call, the issue that happens is that if you take that particular day's price, then the performance of the model portfolio doesn't mirror what the actual strategy was. That is the reason we've gone to that generate advice, because you can generate advice the time that you want to implement it. So you don't need to, a call will not come to you unless if there's cash in the portfolio, you have to go there and generate advice and you will get the latest advice of that day. And then, you're supposed to execute. Whenever you're ready to execute, you can generate advice. And we can give you a 1-2 day of a edit option in terms of the price range. But I think beyond that, then there is a huge disparity in terms of what I may claim as the model portfolio return versus what you may have got as a model portfolio return with drastic, price changes. So, but can that be added as a feature with a trigger of this range to this range? The answer is yes. I'm definitely going to work on it. Kevin, please note that down and send it to me. We'll definitely work on it. I must also tell you that we are trying to, and I've not succeeded as yet, but we are also trying to come out with a score for Mojo stocks. Turnaround, reliable, and momentum, an internal score. What that will do is that you have an overall fundamental score anyways, but every product should have a score, because if you want to look at which is the best turnaround company to pick up, you currently don't have a score. You just have the Markets Mojo original score. So I'm working on trying to see if I can create a turnaround company score. So when you come to the turnaround section, you will say this is the top score of the turnaround companies out there. Similarly, Momentum Now, Reliable Now, and even Mojo stocks. Which is the top Mojo stock if you were to know today? It's very difficult to find out. Primarily, you will do a filter on recency or on returns. But when a new stock comes into a Mojo stock, the score should actually change because it is coming basis the filters of Mojo stocks, and we should give it a fresh score. So we are trying our best to figure out if we can do that and give you a score within turnaround. You can pick up the top 3 companies, top 4 companies, and within Reliable and Momentum and Mojo stocks also try and give a dedicated score rather than just a generic score of any of the companies. So that is work in progress. I do not know whether we'll succeed on that or not, but I can tell you that there's a lot of effort that we're doing to try and create that, specific score for specific strategy.
Okay. The next question comes from Mamta. Mohit, some of the stock of the weeks have fallen. Would you recommend that we pick it up now?
You can, Mamta, pick it up, but yeah, you can. But if it has fallen marginally, I would always say that if they are, see, resilience is what? Resilience is that I will compare 2 columns. Can I get the screen, please?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you look at so just want to show you stock of the week, IFP Industries. That's a 2 months, 14 days stock that we closed at 24%. Let's look at the open calls and your question out there. We have a couple of stocks that are nearing their target price. I would say one stock, Graphite, is still away. But now let's look at these stocks, right? So couple of stocks are in negative. Today, rest all the stocks are in positive. 2 stocks are in negative, which is Voltas and which is Rosary Biotech. As you know, I think Voltas went down till around 15%, has recovered to 2.51%. So if I were to look at whether I should be buying it or not, I think I should be comparing it on the index on that day. So it is underperforming the index. If the stock is negative and it is outperforming the index, I would still look at buying that. So you understand, Mamta, what I'm saying, that if this stock would have been, say, let's take the example of this, which is Rosary Biotech. Now this is minus 2.27, and there's no science to it. This is my personal view. I can go wrong here. Minus 2.27. If this was minus 1.5 or something, doing still better than the index, I would have still been interested in picking up a little more quantity out there. But as I said, one of the things that you need to be rest assured of is that every single stock out here is a rock solid, fundamentally rock solid stock. So which basically means that their revivals can be very fast. If you know that, I know that a couple of days back, 4, 5 stocks were in negative. They've all kind of jumped up and recovered drastically out there. IFB today itself was up so much, right? So these stocks can really hit the upper side quite quickly because they're fundamentally very strong. So little bit of buoyancy in the market and they will recover very, very fast. But out of the two stocks, I would still compare it to the benchmark. If it is still better, even if it is negative, still better than the benchmark, I may still be inclined to buying it. But otherwise, I may still hold on till the time that they start showing me a trend that they're becoming better than the benchmark. The other thing that, even if it is, I would much rather buy smaller positives than negatives. So that's option number two, that if you have to reinvest some more money, you may look at smaller positives than negatives, because it's just a perception difference, because you're going into stocks that are on the positive trajectory rather than negative trajectory because of whatever reasons. Let them come into a little positive, what will happen? We'll still get our target, right? So these are two options that you can use out there. Either allocate on the already positive stocks, smaller positives, or if you're allocating to negative stocks, just make sure that they're doing better than the benchmark.
The next question comes from Mr. Venkataramu. Some broker houses are publishing stock of the week and month. Is it known or not?
Sorry, some brokers are
I think the question is basically he's asking is, have we found out if some brokers are publishing the stock of the week or the month calls?
not ours, sir. Not ours. We are not giving stock of the week to brokers. Maybe one broker where we have a long-term tie, but otherwise we are not giving it to anybody. So we haven't, we have not been able to figure out, and we cannot physically figure out because of so many users, that who's distributing that stock of the week further to their members. But it's very difficult for us to make that out. But we personally are not offering that product out.
The next question comes from Mr. Ajay. What is your thoughts on the market as it is going down before Diwali?
See, I don't have a short-term view. It's a very post-Diwali is 2 weeks, and you're asking my view on 2 weeks, and uh, every time there's a 50% chance that I'll go right and 50% chance that I'll go wrong. And obviously that is always the case with the short-term calls. I think a lot will depend on the numbers, because we have result season going out, and a lot will depend out there. I think on a shorter term, I'm a little on the bearish side. I've been saying this for a while now. But on the longer run, I don't think so. There's a bigger bullish attitude that anybody has than me, because I personally feel that India as a market is up for shining for at least a decade, the coming decade. So I typically don't worry about short-term numbers, because I know where we are long-term going. Because when you're going for a 500-kilometer journey, you don't look at speed blocks, right? You have to just cover it because it's a part of your journey. That's how I typically see it. And I think if you get that attitude, and if you work with that particular attitude, that your long-term journey will have a certain speed breakers, it's not possible. You may stop at certain time to take a break and all. That's how I typically see it. So we have to be really relaxed in these volatile times, because most of the time wrong decisions are taken only in spurt of emotions or in external stress that comes and hounds us. That this is happening in the world and that is happening in the world, and we keep looking at only negative things and negative news that can impact the market. Positive is something that we say ye to hona hi tha. So I think the broad stroke of brush on a long term, on the next 5 to 10 years, is extremely positive. The shorter duration is anybody's guess, sir. I typically don't have a Diwali view that what will happen till Diwali. And I think anybody who has a view is faffing around. Nobody can predict the market in 2 weeks' time. You may as well not give you an answer to that, rather than give you a wrong answer and saying that hope my answer was 50% right. So that's how you need to look at it.
Okay. The next question comes from Mr. Vivek. Is it possible in the future that one can purchase stocks via the Markets Mojo platform, like small case or ticketing?
We haven't provided that broker link to do the transactions. We've not done that specifically because we do not want our users to feel that we are earning anything from the brokers. And primarily also is we've taken a stance from the very beginning that we want to be on the side of the brokers, on the side of the clients, and we do not have anything to do with the brokers. We are broker agnostic. Now, I do understand your concern and your convenience, if you may, not concern, that if you integrate with small case, then obviously your transactions goes through and it gets updated on the site. That is something that I think we can possibly at a time provide, but I can assure you that we will provide that with full disclosure that we don't earn anything from the brokers on any transaction because that's our model. We don't make money on transactions. We make money only on our research advisory packages that we sell in the market. You know that, and that is something that will always continue.
The next question comes from Shruti. Hello, sir. Wishing you and the Mojo family happy Diwali. I got handsome returns from Mojo stocks. The best thing about Mojo app is about its quality. I used to get so much confused by the suggestions of my broker every day with 10 new stocks. In Mojo stocks, I do trading also, and it has given me huge returns. Thank you for Mojo stocks and best product ever.
Thanks a lot, Shruti, and wish you and your family a very, very happy Diwali and a very prosperous upcoming New Year. Thank you for all your support. We have, handpicked and designed every product with full sincerity and efforts. And I can tell you that when a product doesn't work, you may be sleeping, I don't sleep. And then we work on that product relentlessly till the time we can achieve it. A lot of people have in the past criticized us that why did you launch a product? It was not working. And I say that it was working that time. Now, when it hits the road, sometimes the product needs tweaking. Every car needs servicing, and we have to keep doing that. And that is that is the reason, Shruti, that today we've reached where we've reached because of this relentless work on IP. It's relentless. If I move the screen on the left-hand side, you'll see my whole screen full of numbers and numbers because every single thing, right from PMS to model portfolios to scores to success rates to Mojo stocks to turnaround stocks to momentum now stocks to reliable performers. We track and improve every single thing. My team works relentlessly hard because I give them 10 things at the same time to test on. So thank you so much. It's very good to sometimes hear appreciation for what you're doing because our three pillars, as I keep saying, is trust, transparency, and performance. These are the three things that we believe in, and we work on all these three with full sincerity. Thank you so much. Wish you a very happy Diwali.
The next question comes from Mr. Prakash. Dear sir, I'm a Mojo professional subscriber till 2027. Can you provide the stock of the week for 1 month trial, after which I can subscribe for a stock of the week?
Sir, we haven't started a free trial on stock of the week. I'm sorry, that is not a feature that is currently available. Maybe we'll offer that in the future, but as of right now, I think, and it's a very small price product. So the only thing that I can tell you is that maybe you can wait for a couple of days. We are coming out with a very strong Diwali offer for you on stock of the week, and that time it will become more affordable. And even for people who have subscribed and they want to extend, it will become very easy for them to extend at that price point. So just give us a couple of days. We are coming out with the Diwali offer soon for you guys.
The next question comes from Mr. Dr. Sarang Pandit. So what is the update on the Mojo One model portfolio?
Sir, wait for Diwali. I'm already on it. We don't do suggestive advice sessions just to listen to you but not implement things. I can tell you most of the things that you gave me, or maybe I took a quiz on the other day, which is the 20 questions. We are working on all of those. Your aggressive portfolio, very aggressive portfolio, Mr. Taha, and your Diwali portfolio, Mojo One portfolio, all have been worked upon. And I'm positive that we should be able to launch it on or before Diwali.
The next question comes from Mr. Rajan Ganesh. This is a follow-up to the Diwali portfolio question only. Diwali portfolio needs your personal drive and attention, sir.
Yes, sir. I know, and that is the reason I have accepted defeat. I know that the portfolio, you know that, right? That none of my portfolios I can invest in. So, and I only invest in my own PMS. So I know that that portfolio is in high demand. Instead of me doing this on a weekly basis, I'm systemizing that so that the system gives you so you get a WhatsApp update, you get an email update, an SMS update in terms of how to revolve that portfolio out. Because it is, even if with over zealous nature, I come and tell you that I will be able to do it on, let me just do it on every week basis. My schedules are very tight, sir. So it becomes a little tough for me to commit on something on a week to week basis. It becomes difficult. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to implement my philosophy onto and create a product which will run automatically for you. And then I can review it maybe once in 2 months, or once in 2 weeks, or once in a month, or maybe, twice in a month. Maybe I can review that whole portfolio with you. Rather than if Tuesday ko ek call aaya, so I can't get on a webinar on Tuesday. And then maybe on Thursday, there's another call. I have to get on a webinar again on Thursday. So if Tuesday there's a call that comes, then it should automatically reach you. That is the endeavor. If Thursday a call comes, that should automatically reach you. So I'm systemizing the whole portfolio rather than doing it manually as we were doing it, last Diwali.
The next question comes from Mr. Muralidhar. Mohit sir, what about any Infinhub Diwali discounts? Is that any available? Please give us some discounts.
Yes, we are going to do that as well. We will give you Infinhub Diwali discount as well. Since you guys are on the call, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm creating a club for members who are 0 to 5 years. So basically, we are trying to create a loyalty club. And what is a loyalty club is that anything that we do henceforth, if that has a separate pricing to it, the most discounted prices goes to people who are already members with us. So we are making our first club, which is 2 years to 5 years in terms of the expiry date of your packages. The second is from 5 to 10 years, 10 to 15 years, and 15 years plus. Now, obviously, 15 years plus will get the product, every product, the cheapest that we do. There will be a separate pricing for these products. So for outside users, the price will be the highest. For 0 to 2 years, then the price will be a little lower. But for people who spend more than 2 years with us in that grade of 2 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years, 10 to 15, and over 15 years, the pricing will be absolutely minuscule so that they keep benefiting. Otherwise, what is the loyalty benefit of what loyalty you've given us in terms of long-term memberships? We want to inculcate that philosophy. And I think in the next day or so, we're going to launch that philosophy on the site. So you'll be able to see that philosophy being launched in the next maybe a day, 24 hours to 48 hours at maximum.
So we have another question from Mr. BSK. Good evening. The 19,999 package is meant for Stock of the Week plus Mojo One plus Market Mojo, and for a year, right? And would it be possible to pay in EMI/monthly basis? And if yes, what are the additional costs as compared to the yearly package?
There are no additional costs. Currently, we don't have a EMI option or a monthly option. We have an annual option. So we've not launched a monthly option as yet. There is no additional cost out there. I think you are getting 1 year Stock of the Week along with 19,999 for a 1 year offer. So currently we don't have a EMI option available, sir.
The next question comes from Mr. Shyam Singh. Good evening, sir. Thank you for your consistent guidance. Your housing loan webinar was a big hit and has helped a lot of families. Please do a webinar on tax planning, something on tax saving instruments or how to save tax. Thanks in advance.
Right, sir. Tax planning in India is a very tricky thing because most of the instruments that give you tax planning don't even give you inflationary returns. I'm not in favor of tax planning. I personally feel that any government initiatives on tax planning are typically for instruments which will give you way, way lower return in the longer run. But I think it is a very interesting topic to uncover and the truth behind it, which is whether you should be doing tax planning at all or not. Yeah, because sometimes uh, we can be, and including me, we can be very penny wise, pound foolish. So we may want to save. A lot of employees come to us and say there's sort of Rex passes de do, this and that and all this stuff. I said, "Itna tum jitna mehnat karte ho, if you put that in your work, your salary growth will be more than enough to take care of your tax, that you're trying to save in terms of your mind that you're applying out there." Now that's said on one side, but if I have to lock my money in to save tax, and if I'm getting a 7% return while locking my money for 5 years, 10 years, and when the market I can earn 15-20%, I think in year and a half, your tax advantage goes for a toss and your money is also with you and it is not locked. So, but it's a very, very interesting topic. I will definitely take up, Kevin, just note this topic down. I hope some of you are putting in those topics in the chat so that, I can take that as an inventory and start working on the content. I told you that the content I personally work on. Yeah, that's why it takes me a little time. But very interesting topic to cover, sir. I would be happy to cover it and maybe open some knowledge base out there which may not be there currently in the base. So we can do that, sir.
That's the number of questions we have received so far, sir. So I think you can go
All
ahead.
right. So thank you so much. Wish you a good night. And today is the middle of the week. Interesting result season coming up. I will keep coming in every week, maybe same time, to keep updating you in terms of our views on the results. And I'll see you. I think I'm seeing you on Friday. I do have an event as well on Friday to attend, but I'll definitely keep you posted. But for sure, Monday I'm seeing you in the morning at 9:07 for all the stock of the week users. Till then, have a good night and a good week ahead. Thank you.